Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure. You're watching the Transport Fever 2 Mainline. And is that a train or is that freight? No, that's freight. Oh no, here's a train. It's coming backwards, obviously, but it's a train. Yeah, we're almost there. We haven't got a lot of freight left to hook up to the mainline, and that's a good thing. But I'm a bit bored of doing freight for the moment, so as a palate cleanser, I'm going to be doing something exotic with a passenger line. Yes, we've broken through 5 billion in the bank, and I mean, money was meaningless a long time ago, but it's increasingly meaningless now. Look, I moved out just as there was some more train action going on. This is the Royston Vasey mainline rail supply, rail iron supply. Nice chunk of change there. It's good to see them make profit, because you hope they're going to. That's gone nicely. Good. You're going to clear off again? Yep, there you go. Right, bye-bye. Yes, right. Moving on. So, where are we going? Well, the last time we touched passengers on a rail-based variety, we created the line that goes from further away. You sure? Yeah. It's the Miranda loops were the last ones we did. So, Miranda, Citadel, Failurewood, Caprica, back to Miranda. And today, what I'm aiming for is a line that runs Caprica, Ergmellenflex, Sunnydale, and that will need extending a little later on. Maybe Sunnydale, Minnestirth, Sunnydale, Zion. You know, all these things are possible. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because the first thing that I'm going to need to do is set Caprica up to run with a reversing station platform, which it currently does not do, and therefore some minor adjustments are going to need to be made to the line as we've got set out. Now, my original plan was going to be to run it along the bridge here and then head up into the hills. How high up are we talking? Oh, very, very high up. Okay. Yeah. Very, very high up. We're in Helix Town, aren't we? We're in Helix Town, everybody. Okay, yeah. So, with that in mind, maybe the bridge is not the best way to go. Maybe we come out of Caprica this way. Yes. Do a sweep around the outside of here. No, you're not going to go around the outside of there. Alright, okay. Do a sweep this way. Start a viaduct that goes over the station here before heading up to the hills. And then we'll wind our way up the mountainside. Yes. Keep winding our way up. Possibly a span going across there. Maybe not. No, we'll work inside that. And we'll possibly be up to about that height by then. Whereupon we could continue climbing up the hillside. Why would we do that? It's pretty dramatic. Oh, and then a looped bridge there before running back along the hillside to get to Ergmellenflex. Then back out again. No, there's a better way. Is there? Yeah. Then back out this way, right? Until you're back on here, at which point there's a junction that leads you to Sunnydale. Intriguing. Okay, either way, this is a bit of a construction curio, this one. So let's see how we get on. Is it going to be a profitable line, Colonel? No, it's not. It's going to be an unprofitable line, and we're just going to have to accept that in our hearts and in our minds. Right, first up, bulldozing. I've had another idea. Right, you're dead. I mean, there's no sense in pretending you're not. You just are, and so are you. Right, because we're going to... And you. Because we're going to extend the station... I was thinking of getting rid of the station house, you see, but I've decided not to do that, and instead we'll just extend the tracks out. You don't even need to extend the tracks out. No, but I could. Yeah, but you don't have to. You put in your passenger platform, right, and just keep building that as long as you can, like that. Yeah, one more maybe. I think that's enough. And then we'll have this as our terminating track for the turnaround. Now, do you want to do electric on here? Because it's going to be self-contained. I think we've answered our own question. Yeah, I'll run a little electric mountainside train type action. That's jolly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Are we happy? Yeah, we're done. That's good. All right. Smashing. Right. Rock these tracks back in again, and when we're off to the proverbial. Let's slap that in there. Yeah. Slap that in here. Yeah. Okay. Now this is going a very, very long way uphill. Yes, it is. So let's see how we get on. Now you're already tending towards a bit of uphill here. You sure you want to go all the way out there? Yeah, we need the distance. We need the distance in order to build the elevation. So we'll go as far as there. Not essential we elevate just yet. Now this is going to be double tracked in fairly short order, I would have thought. No, too soon. All right, don't do that then. No. All right, stay on the flat. How long do you want to stay on the flat? Well, that is staying flat. Fine. Okay. Yeah. Carry on. Yeah. Viaduct. It's happened already. Okay. All right. Well, let's see how we get on. Maybe this will be able to cross over the station, which is what would be nice. Maybe it won't, but we'll give it a go. You've crossed over the station. All right. And we're starting to build elevation. Too early. I don't want to be building much elevation at this point. Yeah, but I mean, you've got to consider, is this just going to look a bit daft if you do it that way? About there. Yeah, all right. Okay. Yeah. Because, I mean, it's a big climb, but just how big a climb is it? Right. There we go. No, keep going up. That is within the realms of acceptable climb. Okay, so then we're going to go up the mountainside here. There's the opportunity for a cheeky span going across there, which will be nice. But come on, let's elevate here, kids. There's no time like the present, and the present is upon us. Right, all right. Snap that alongside the mountain, and away we go. All right. Now, gonna have to hope that my internal navigation is up to scruff today. Otherwise, this is gonna look awful. You still seem to be on an awful lot of bridge here. Yeah. That was not the kind of cheeky span you had in mind. No. I think I bent my corner in too soon. Okay. All right. So take this back out. Yeah. You know what would have been better is curving this bridge around towards this ridge here. Okay. Well, look, we want to make this particular section of line is going to be so unprofitable it's not funny. So if we're already committed to unprofitable as our bedfellow today, then you might as well make a line that is, quite something as a result of that. Well, let's not get carried away. It still needs to be functional to an extent. Cheeky tunnel to a little bit of outward burst. Yep, cheeky tunnel outward burst. You know what would be nicer? Not a cheeky tunnel. Yeah. Start your bend earlier. Okay. Come on. Stop grabbing the trees. You could zoom in a bit. Yes, but I want to see what I'm doing. So, there you go. To about there. All right, we have started flexing. And we now continue our flex. That's a cheeky tunnel. Is it? That looks like what we call a tunnel. Not cheeky, just tunnel. Yeah. See, you've not really worked this, but you're going uphill already. Slowing to 70-ish, 75-ish would be okay. What about 65? Okay, I suppose. All right, then we're out. Then we get a span before we hit over here. All right. Yeah, okay. I like the span. Span's good. All right. Evaluate distance travelled, distance to go. You might be able to do this in one. Okay. I did like the original plan. Yeah, but the original plan was so bad in terms of the amount of distance you'd have to travel. It wasn't even worth any consideration at all. How quickly can we crow fly it here? I'm not going to do a crow fly. No, look, you're way short of your objective. Way short. Still with the original plan. Yeah, maybe truncated a little, but the original plan is still the plan as we look at it right now. All right, where's my track? Here's your track. Keep it rolling. Let's go. Yep, okay. Keep on the steepness. At this point, no. I think we'll go for slightly less steepness and just cover more distance. Okay, right. Get the right bridge in and then have a look at what this next span's going to be. Because again, we want to be running the edge. And if you are going to stick to something that is an approximation of the original plan, you're also going to want to make sure that you can get a junction in somewhere, which means staying out so that you're not making a junction off a bridge, because junctions off bridges are bad. Yeah. Could you not marry that against the hill? I probably could. All right. Well, look, here's your end point. So if you were to just stick that in, other way. If you were to just stick that in, yeah. Okay, and then back this one up a smidge. And then see what it does if you just curve round between those two. Yeah, you see, but that's quite an abrupt bit of curvature. Yeah, all right, okay. That's not that I'm against a bit of bridge span. You all know that I like a bit of bridge span. It's more a case that if we can sit alongside the hill, we should. Now that should be going downhill as we look at it. To about there. Yes. And then onto there. Yeah, well, I mean, you can do that better. Obviously. Yeah. Okay, right, yep. Alright, okay, we're into something here. We got something, we got a feeling for something right here. Yeah. And it's because I've tried to do gentle swoops, you see, which leads me into bridging it a bit. But I think a connection between this tunnel exit and that bit of track there might end up slightly more hillside flush. I don't know. I mean, it's debatable. How are we feeling? Well, the bridge is fine. Yep. And got a bit of cheeky tunnel there. That's okay. That is within the realms of cheekiness. All right, stick with it. And then we've got a 63 mile per hour corner. No, it's not miles per hour. A 63 kilometres per hour corner. Oh dear. Yeah. And then we want to wind round to about there. How's that look? Flipping glorious. That's how that looks. Okay. Yes, friends, we will be riding it. Okay. We will be riding this track because, I don't know about you, but this looks like the kind of track you want to ride. Now, the views might not be spectacular on the outside, but while on board, but the views watching the train go up the hillside here should be pretty exciting. Right, if we go as far as there, what have we got ourselves? Another bit of tunnel, yeah. Then back out again. I'm happy with back out again. All right, keep rolling. All right, so how do we feel about that? Well, it's madness is what it is. What you should have up here is an airport. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. We are allowed airports now. Oh, yeah. Now, I wasn't going to go for very many places that are connected by air. Are we considering this now? I'm going to give it some moment of consideration. Ergmellenflex having an airport, I think, is a great idea. But then where would you put the other airports? Now, you want the distance to be far enough to make it worth doing. So maybe you take it where it's slightly off the beaten track. So I think those Peninsular are possibly an interesting way to go. So Peninsula itself, that could be quite an interesting... There's the land. The land is there for it to stick an airport in. Okay, and then you'd want another one that is maybe Twin Peaks. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, smooth out this area here, stick one there, and then run 3 airports. All right, okay. I may or may not remember this plan, but as it stands right now, it's a good plan. You've got a bit of stone there needs picking up. That Minas Tirith. Okay, yeah, all right. Just making sure you haven't forgotten it. Yeah. Where am I? Up here somewhere. There we go. Right then, okay, onwards. So I think the next step is going to be to put the station in. And if we're now thinking airport around here, which will involve me flattening out a lot more mountaintop, I'm comfortable with this, then I think the station over here, so that it can have a direct connection to the airport, is probably a smooth idea. On which note, why don't we look at the amount of space we're going to need? What are we looking at there? That is a passenger airfield. That is a cargo airfield. Oh, what about just an airfield? Yeah, that has both passengers and freight. Yeah. Okay. Now, you wouldn't necessarily want it there, though, would you? Wouldn't you want it facing that way? You know what? I probably would. But this way makes more sense in a geological kind of fashion. Okay. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I want the station right next to the airport to kind of maximise use and connectivity and whatnot. So what if somewhere like that, and then plumb the station in accordingly? Yep, could do. All right, okay. If you're going there, you might as well go over here. Yeah, okay. All right. Let's get this mapped in. All right. I'm trying to match the angle that the road's got there. About there? Yeah. Sure. Remember, you've got to get freight terminal on there as well. The freight terminal, incidentally, I'm only going to use for the goods that are required by Erg Melonflex. Sold. I like it. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Now then, passenger terminal, cargo terminal, hangar. Right. You've got a hangar. You've got a passenger terminal. Have a cargo terminal. We don't need to go much more zesty than that because we're not going to be taking that many bits of anything. Okay. Good. Yeah. No, this is yeah. Right, terrain tools. Right, give me the flattener to start with because we'll give it a little bit more space either side in order to accomplish anything. Okay, how's it looking? I think we're onto something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to make your brush a bit bigger? Otherwise, we'll be here all day. All right. Here we go. Yep. Right, and then we'll flatten everything out around here to make this as seamly as possible. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Keep it coming. And then obviously the smoothing gun's going to make an appearance presently. You knew that was going to happen, so shouldn't have come as a surprise. There you go. How do we feel about that? Well, I think feel is maybe a realm that we don't want to dabble in, but other than that, it's superb. Well, okay, I think superb's maybe egging it on a little. No, and that's grand. Okay, and then I'll come back to the smoothing gun in a moment. I just want to make sure I can get my station in. So you're going to want a passenger terminal. You don't need a freight terminal here at all because you just don't. Right, yeah, so you'd have your passenger terminal there, or would you have it here? Oh, no, you'd have it there. Okay, yeah, put the road in first. Might as well try and get this right. Okay, so if we did a one of those, are we getting the tendril action that we want there? No, why is that cargo terminal not giving me tendrils? I don't think I've put enough connections on my airport. Well, you show me the other buttons and I'll press them. Main building with street access. Oh, well, stick another one up here then. There you are. Why? Because I felt like it. Okay. Right, so if we... Boulevard. Okay. just randomly yelling Boulevard. Okay, yeah. Yes, I'm happy with that. Okay. And then what? Well, I want to run a street round the outside. You're going to need more cliff for that. We've already started building cliff. I don't see why we wouldn't build some more. Okay. And then when you get to do a bit of detailing on this, we'll detail in all kinds of business. Really? You reckon you'll make it back out here? Yeah, I've been thinking about that too. And I'm going like, what's your plan for this? Are you going to just go round every station in the same order that you did first time round and decorate the lot? To which I say, no, we're not going to do that for the basic reason it's, the performance of the game is holding up nicely at the moment. But by the time we're halfway round, if we're detailing, and part of the thing that I'm intending to do is increase traffic volumes along the way as well, only when needed, obviously. But the likelihood we're still in a mostly solid playable state by that point is going to be pretty slim. So no. Instead, I'm going to cherry pick the areas of interest and do them first. So the docks at New York, and either the ones that are going to be most interesting or the ones that are definitely in need of a redevelopment. So that rotten the lumber line that we run early on out near Pix Creek, I think. Gallifrey. The Gallifrey lumber line is awful. So that very much needs sorting out. Speaking of things that need sorting out. Yeah. Alright, give me this. Yeah, give me some lines straightness. Okay, line straightness. There you go, run that down there. Yeah. I can see someone's house who's going to get bulldozed. Yeah, you lucky pilgrim. Right, and onto there. Okay, now you just got to make this look halfway decent. You're saying it doesn't at the moment. You're absolutely right. I'm saying that it doesn't at the moment. And that bit. Okay. Yeah, all of those bits that you did were bendy. The bend was rubbish. So if we go to about there. Yep. Okay, and then a flip back to bendy, and this should do something a little neater. It hasn't, No, I rather hoped it would just do a nice little right angle there. No, it's trying to do something convoluted. Oh well, okay, no, that's all right. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. All right, and then around to about there. Eyeballing it. It's the only way to live. And then over there. Okay, it's got a little kink in it, but haven't we all? Right, okay, so there's that. Now, the ideal... I hate the kink. It's so fussy. No, look, it's worth big fun. If you're going to spend a little bit of time on it, which, let's face it, I haven't done very often on very much, so just shut up and tolerate, then it's worth spending a little bit of time on it. There you go. Right, now, stick in your truck stop. Truck station. Yes. Okay, like that. No. Put the truck stop over here. No, stick a bus stop in first. We're not going to use buses, though, are we? No, we're going to use trams. Electric tram track, please. Thank you. Right. Yeah. Okay, and then stick in your truck stop right next door. You could just extend your tram stop. Nope, I'm doing it like that because I want to. Right. I'm not setting these up right now. I just want to make sure that I've got the real estate in order to make it work. And then on the end of here, stick your train station. Yeah. All right. What have we got? 160. Yep, 160 will do it. So if we stick that right on there. Sure. How does that look? Adequate. Well, then we're golden. Yeah. Okay. Right. Ergmelonflex just became a big player as far as geography is concerned. Geology is concerned. Still a little bit of smoothing just to take the edges off this. Did you maybe erode too far there as far as the road is concerned? Nope. No, that's still viable. The other side. That's a disaster in a smoothing factory. Yes, it is. But it won't be for long. There you go. Lovely job. Super gadooper. Okay, yeah, that's relatively super gadooper. Right, okay, good. That's not ended up looking too terrible. You need more space there. That just doesn't look right. No structural engineer in the world would go, no, run it right up to the edge of the cliff. That'll be safe. There you go, we'll give it just a little bit more room. And also, there's nothing wrong with effectively plateauing this. Alright, there you go. Alright, give it just a little bit of whoop, and a bit over here. There you go, see? That way it's not all the same level of flatitude, and it ends up looking a little better. In fact, if we were to take this bit up here and maybe run it down there somewhat, maybe a little bit more, it maybe looks a little bit more. Shut up, it's fine. Okay, now then, where's my train track? So the approach that we're going to take is we've made it up this far, so the aim now is going to be to continue to go upwards before backing up on ourselves and coming in over here like this. Yeah, and at some point along the way, maybe just before we turn back, actually, we'll put in the branch for Sunnydale. Am I going to double track this? Yes, I am. Yeah, I might do some strategic double track here and there, but not all the time. Well, okay. You know what? Yeah, I know, we're already there. I'm going to do this end first. Yeah, your house is gone. Soak it up. Right, so if we come around... no, actually, wait for the autosave to finish, otherwise it gets upset and confused and sad. Come on, autosave. Come on. Thank you. No upset and confused and sad for you. Right, keep it flat or get it going? Well, we definitely don't want to be going up, so keep it flat. Yeah, should we smooth this first? Oh, I'm in that kind of mood. Alright, okay. Yeah, just take the heat out of it a little bit. There you go. Just a little bit less heat. In fact, let's grab this. Let's take the brush size down. Let's do a bit like this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then as long as you try and follow that in some fashion, you should be okay. Good. Yes. So, grab the track, go round the corner, and we're off and rolling. Alright. Now, the reason for switching angle here is so that I can find the right turning point for the track to kind of meet itself. Why have we got what is effectively an Evel Knievel's last stunt bit of road there? I think that's a terrible idea. You people with your terrible ideas, I ask it. Right, keep it coming around here. Yeah, along those kinds of pathway should be fine. And then some smoothage. Yeah. Yeah. There she goes. It's all lovely. All right, on you come. Right, okay. At about... yeah. Wait. No. Yes. Wait, no. Wait. There. Sure? No. There. Okay. You're not just being unduly fussy. No, I wanted to make sure I could slide through that road without having to put a kink in it. And it's got a small kink, but that's okay. And then, after passing this point, we shall now head downwards rapidly. Not rapidly enough. Yeah. Can we take the hump out of that? No. Oof. Shall we terrain it to make it look a little better? You know what you could actually, because you could make this a little bit of a ridge. You know, the general up and down tools, they really don't get it done very well, do they? No. What gets it done very well is go flatten in, please. There you go. And you go, well, that looks just plain odd. No, it's not. They'd call it the Needles, and they would sell postcards of it, and people would go, oh, I went to the Needles today. Was it good? No, it was mediocre. That's what people do on the Isle of Wight. You go and look at the Needles, and you kind of go, it's not a day out, is it? No, it's not. It's quite upsettingly boring. Right, carry on. What are you doing now? I don't 100% know, but I'm pretty certain I'm going in a direction that I want to be going in, that will eventually be seen as correct by all who survey it. Okay. You're going to have a hard time making this look au naturel. Well, so far it's not a million miles off. The smoothing gun will certainly take care of business on that front. Reasonably well. But if I now run a bit of track over the top of it, right, I'm even going to not even look and plumb it in. What do we end up with? Giant mess. Yeah, all right. I take it all back. This is a giant mess. Right. Okay. Yeah. Get your smoothing gun out. Yeah, I will do. I just wanted to avoid the bridge being too tall. Fine, and that's a noble thing to aim for. But at the same time, you do want it to look like that, A, it was sort of derived from the original natural appearance, and secondly, there you go. See, that was, well, that's what I was actually aiming for. Yeah, that's a little bit of track still there. Oh, I see. Right, and whoop. Yeah, those will get flattened out by the track, so that's not too big a deal. That almost looks okay, and by the time we've got track running over the top of it, it will 100% look okay. You're going to helix at the end of this. That's a possibility. How's it look now? Flipping terrible. Come on, I used the flattening gun here. You should already be at the right level. No, you didn't have maximum strength on it. Only went part of the way there. Okay. Well, do the first part. How does that look? Do you know what? It's flipping eye-catching. Yeah, all right. Okay. Can we... No, there's nothing you can do for that. All right. Well, carry on then. All right. Keep going. All right. I mean, when I built the map, I purposefully put Melonflex up at this height, deliberately to make it this kind of challenge. There you go. All right. Yeah. I'm into it. All right. Now, where's my assault track here? A long way short. Yeah, but it's getting closer all the time. So what if I'm already at the right height? See, I mean, you might want to go over there. I do want to go over here. You're right. Okay. Yeah. All right. No, I'm there. I'm up for it. Let's do it. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is going to be like so, right? But we're not going to go uphill on this section. We're going to keep it flat. Yeah, I know. You're all now thinking he's lost his mind. And I go, no, I haven't lost my mind. Right? Gouge that out. We'll smooth it in a moment. Right? And then you keep going round the corner. This is where my junction's going to be. Right. Around we go. Yeah. In fact, Crow, start flying. Yeah. To there. To there. That's 180 million's worth of no. Okay. All right. Cancel. Let's go the other way. All right. You will need to do a little bit of uphill here. So get the no. All right. You still coming uphill? No, mate. I'm staying on the same level. Okay. What if we did go uphill? That's more or less right, you know. And I more or less like that as well. Yeah. No, I like it. I like it. It's got everything that I like going on there. I think we just need to make it a little bit shorter, but I'm going to plumb it in first and then make it a little bit shorter. Yeah, okay. And then just finish it. Like this. Finish it. Too much slope. What? No way. No way is there too much slope. And is the slope going up or down? The slope's coming down. I see. Okay. Lads, change of plan. All right. Everything was golden right up to the point that we didn't need to come up this high. Okay. Okay, that's fine. No, the scheme is still a noble and valid one. We'll bring you round like this, and keep you on the flat. Okay, out to about there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Why? Yes. Okay, and then whack that over to here. It's still going up. You don't need to go up any higher. You've gone too far. That's why. Yeah, but I've created a drama junction, and that's worth having. So we'll just take this further back. We should end up with the same effect. Right, take it in there. Right, try it now. Like that. What have we ended up with there? You've still gone up too high, but you know what? I'm okay with that now. Because it's more of a gentle undulation at this stage. Yeah. No, I like it. You sure? Is this what we're settling for? Yeah, it's dramatic and it's interesting. Okay. All right, we're in. Okay, so there we go. That's the Erg Melon Flex link. Now we got double tracking to do, obviously. Just have a look at this, would you? Yeah. No, yeah, you're miles away. Yeah, probably could have made a loop around there. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. You may, incidentally, what you're hearing in the background there is a bird. And that bird is directly outside my window. The bird thinks it is spring. The bird is going, woohoo, I'm here, everybody. Sadly, the bird only knows one tune, and that tune is the one you hear now. There you go. If you can't make that out, let me just tell you that I think I'm losing my mind because this bird has just been banging out this same call for the last hour. And it's a little bit much. You kind of go, yes, all right, bird, we get it. Whatever it is you're banging on about, just give it a flipping rest, would you? Enough of that. I think it's a magpie. Yeah. Yeah, it's still going. Yeah. And it's keeping time as well. Not to any particular tune, I'll give you that, but it is keeping time. Right, Sunnydale, it's just over there. How can we rocket down the mountain to get to it? By rocketing down the mountain, obviously enough. We're only 40 minutes into the video. We've got plenty of time for this. All right, so I'm going to do a Y junction here. We'll take one branch off there. We'll take one branch off here and hopefully meet in the middle somewhere. And obviously when I double track that, I'm going to change my mind. But right now, I don't care. Okay, now, down. There you go. And hillside. Okay, well, that's where the points are going to be. And how do we feel about that as a viaduct? It's too tall. Yeah, it is. Ah, bird, no. I had a moment there where I thought the bird had stopped. Bird hasn't stopped. Bird's still going. Yeah, but I've got to keep the window open. Otherwise it gets too hot in here. Now you're talking. Right, keep that on the flat. Flat, please. Because this is a flat section of track that it's peeling off from, therefore we will keep the junction flat. Right. Now, I mean, the secret to a flat junction, or a junction that doesn't look rubbish, is one part. The easiest way to do it is make sure that both sides are flat. The second easiest way to do it is make sure that both sides are changing their elevation at the same speed. So if you've got maximum steep upness on one side and max steep upness on the other side, you'll be fine. Your junction will marry up superbly. All right, that's better. Yeah. Okay, keep coming. All right, 2 around there. Yeah, and then give it just a little lift. Yeah. Okay, now where are we going? Over there. We can get there from here. Yeah, we certainly can. All right, okay, good. Oh, I like it. Oh, it's curvy and interesting, and that's rather like myself. And that's absolutely fine. Right, you flat, please. All right. Now you go bananas and mingle. Yeah, you're not wrong. And because they're both doing the same downhill, this should be a tidy junction. Notice, tidy junction. Right, you tidy? Don't you make a liar out of me. It's tidy-ish. Yeah, this one's going slightly more uphill than that one. But it's tidy enough. Right, onwards. How are you going to double track that? I'm probably not. That'll probably be a single track junction, and that's fine because we should never be getting trains that close together. Alright, you down a lot, please. Back it up. Do it again. There you go. Underground. Don't want underground. Thank you. That's the stuff. Right, how's our aim? Aim's good. How far off are we? Not far. How much bridge are we going to get? A bit. When you say a bit, you mean a lot. Is that where you want the passenger station? Right next to the freight hub? Oh, it's a bit late for that question. It really isn't. No, what you could do, right, is you could stay up here, bend it back, and then S-bend down and out and go to a different section of Sunnydale. Yes. Yeah, I'm not wedded to the appearance of this as it looks right now. Okay, so you're thinking what exactly? Keep going down, right? But stay on in a straighter line. Yeah, it's got us a tunnel. Yeah, that was inevitable. All right, and then we do what? A sharp U. A sharp U, yes. Okay, all right. When are you thinking of doing this? Oh, pretty soon. There you go. So bend that way a little bit. Yeah. All right, and then sharp UE. Okay. What sort of speed on your sharp UE? Oh, 70. 70's good. It's not. No, it's not. But 70 is what we'll accept. We're almost at the surface at this point as well. And then you can just emerge out of there free as a bird. Oh, it's not even bending back on itself. No, it's just a little bit of a change in idea. Okay. If you keep your height up and go over the top of this track. Yep. Okay, you did have the angle there. I still have. There we are. So we're going that way. So by pop a wheelie here. No, wrong button. All right, over there like that. You're going to need a bit more than that there, Tiger. No, you're not. Wait. There. You can't put a humpback bridge in a rail bridge. See what I've just done? Yes, you can. Especially since we'll be coming down low. No, it just looks silly. Yeah, okay, you're right. All right, go one higher. That's lower. That's higher. Now check your angle again, otherwise you'll get it wrong. Right, there. Eyeball it. About here. Like that. How does it look? Just fine, thank you. Pull it back a little bit. Yeah. How's your angle? About right, but I think it's a little bit more that way. Okay. Change it into modern. Will do. Hit the tick button. Okay. And then, hoping that you've not made too much of a mess of the angle of attack, you do that. Turn this into that. Have a look at it. Go... Yeah. And then you claim it. Right, okay. Now then, where am I putting this flipping state? Do you want to stay elevated while you've got this track coming through here? Now, I know you want to remodel all of this, both in and out anyway. Yeah. Now, from Sunnydale, do you want to go anywhere else? Minas flipping Tirith, that's where I want to go. Well, it is a straight line. To right. And by adding in that one extra chunk there, you may end up with a route that has a profitable portion, which will mean you could just about ride out it being profitable overall. Right, double track this. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. No, stick that about here. Right, we can curve. Curving is fine. Okay, trying to make sure you're, you know. I will. There we are. Right. Just something about that. Something. Yes. Okay. Now then, have you decided whether you are the inside or the outside track at this point? No. No idea. Okay. Right. Give me tracks back. Tracks back. Give me tracks forwards. Right. To about there. Yeah. And apparently that is flat. Is it? Nonsense. What are you talking about? That's not flat. No, I think you've started going downhill. No, it is. No, it's not. It's not flat. Go flipping flat. I don't want to go downhill yet. We've got another track to pop over. Okay. This, I tell you, this is the viaduct line, this one. Yeah, no, that's not what I'm going to call it. All right, carry on to about there, I suppose. How's that look? Yeah. All right, okay. Then carry on, get over this line. Yep. And now you may freewheel adapt as much as you like to get down to the right elevation for the station, for the nation. Carnation. And we're there. And you have thus dictated which side of the line you've been working on. Is this platform electrified? Yes, it is. Okay, we're done. Now then, let's go double track a bunch of this, but not all of it. Again, it shouldn't ever be so bunched up as to require it, so we'll see how we go. Yes, this is a very long viaduct, but I like it because it never reaches a height that feels wrong. Plus, it gets to go over 2 other lines along the way, which feels right, and it helps mitigate the downward section that you've got coming down the mountain, which feels good. All right, how far are you going? We'll go to the next. We'll go to the next hole. Just in there, and then what? Single track this section. I think single tracking the junction's a smart plan. Yeah, but you're going to double track the approach to the station. Yes, I think I have to, because you're likely to get trains. Well, it's possible you get trains coming from both directions. So this point section, that could have been better. It's okay. Could have been better. It's okay. Yeah, this point section will stay single track. Everything else will double. Right. You haven't got a double track station at this end. It doesn't matter. This just gives us, it affords us a little bit of queuing space, you see, just in case it's necessary. And while you've got very steep uphill being deployed on a regular basis, you want to make sure that that trains have got a place to stop. Otherwise, you're stopping them in a much less convenient environment. So where do you want to start your break in? We'll start here and break in. Go on, go on. How far do you want to go? All right, as far as you can. Super. All right, okay, that's the top edge done. And actually, that was long enough that it actually felt worthwhile double tracking it. This section, as it comes out the tunnel, or after bridge 1. Let's go after bridge 1. Okay, then it really doesn't matter which way around you do this. No, as long as the bridges look all right. All right, well, if you go as far as about there, that's a very slow bit of junction. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm making a bit of tactical terrain adjustment. Right, from here up to about there. Right, it's not going to change the overall shape of things. I just want to make sure that I can get a neat transition to double track. Okay, right, now you roll out over there. Yeah, change your age. Congrats. Now, when I lap 2, I will have some bridge modification type stuff available to me. And therefore we will end up with slightly more variety in the nature of the bridges. But these, I think, the freight lines may well change their layout, their appearance. But I think these passenger lines, this one certainly, I'm likely to keep as it is, because I've put a bit more effort in on the passenger lines in making them halfway decent. I tell you, the junction I'm most looking forward to reworking, Dark City. That junction is woeful, but it kind of works, but the queuing is horrendous at the moment. I think Miranda is also right up there for junctions that would really celebrate my glorious return. Am I missing... Why does the track stop here? Did you just stop building? I don't recall having stopped building. Oh, I think you crow flew one of those and then just didn't hit the tick, maybe. Oh, no. Yeah, I know, oh, no, because you know what that means. That means there's going to be like 1,000 comments of people saying, you didn't build that bit of track. As if going like, oh no, he's never going to notice that he hasn't built the bit of track when he tries to ride the train later on. Right. There we go. Go on, keep coming. Yeah, there we go. Smashing. Yep, carry on. Yeah, yes. I'm feeling it. Right, yeah, keep coming. Yeah, this is going to be great. How many trains are you going to put on here? I think we're looking at 6. Right, little light numbers, and I don't know whether I'm going to use the... I don't know which train I'm going to use, I'll be honest. I might go crocodile, even though that, typically speaking, that's a little bit more freighty. You know, bit freighty, that one. But I'll have a look and see what we've got in the bag of tricks, and we'll see where we get to. All right, about there? No, keep it coming. Doesn't really matter at this stage. It's all about how the track looks. How does the track look? Like this. That's a visual gag. Yeah, can't get away with that. No, not without being on face cam. Right, signals. Okay, let's put in the bare minimum. All right, because we don't know where we're going to need them until the trains are running. Right, let's put a set here. Now, I made those... Why do I make some one way and some not one way? Because by putting these 2 in as one way, I have assigned the sides of the track to a particular style of... to a direction of travel. Right? And so, because there's no points, there's no switches anywhere along this bit of track, they have no choice but to follow my directive. At which point we can then move back to 2-way signals, which I prefer, just purely because of the flexibility you get out of it. And then we're good to go. Now, the bit we can't do, so I can put a signal here right at the end of this spur, is we can't put any signals on the on this Y junction. We can only do the approaches. And that's not an approach. No, the approach is back there. Yeah. That is quite a chunk where there is... So basically, only one train will be allowed in that section at a time. Although it'd be interesting to see if a train that's going out this way will prevent a train coming up this way from entering. Shouldn't matter. Even with 6 trains, there's so much queuing space going on, and there's so much track distance to cover that might not end up being a problem. But what's that? I'm just brushing it off as what does it matter? Right, one in here, one in there, and then one right at the end down here. And you're going to want a junction in there. Okay. There you go. Right, signal. Yeah. Anywhere else you're going to want a junction? No, this is the only one, the only station with double track approach. Well, that's fun. Hasn't this been fun, everybody? We're 50 minutes into this, and I'm very pleased with what we've got. If it works. Oh, hello. What are you? You're a depot, and more than that, you're an electric depot. It's like I planned it, but I didn't. I can't take credit for that. It's just worked out quite conveniently. Right. Okay. Now, I haven't put my roots in yet, but it doesn't matter. Just sling it out over there. Yeah, go for it. Okay. And then just try and make it work. Try, certainly, yeah. Okay. If we come out this way a little bit more, so I can bend back in, you see. Do a bit of that. Yeah. Get this rid of the last remaining piece of road in the whole of Christendom out of the way. And then stick that across those 2 lines there. Why there? Why not? All right, you slip them. All right, theoretically, no theoretically about it. That's just going to work. Okay, let's do it. Because I do still want to ride the line, and that's going to probably take 15 minutes to do end to end, but I don't think anybody's that bothered, are they? Well, they might be. Well, they shouldn't be. Well, they might be. Hold on a moment. No, there it is. No, yeah. I just had a feeling there I'd put in a freight station instead of a passenger station. Right, up here to Manaflex. Yeah. This is quite nice because you can actually see the route. Then I like this white box that they've gone with here. I think it looks sharp. I think it looks quite smart. Then down to Caprica. Okay, then down to Caprica. Okay. Is that following the route? Yes, it is. What else was it going to do? And then back to Ergmenonflex. Small point. Yeah, go ahead. You're never going to use that junction on the Y. I might. Shut up. There we go. Right, good. Yeah? Yes. All right, what are we calling this? This is going to be the Sky Dome. Yeah, just is. That's it. All my passenger lines are going to get unique and interesting names. It's not that unique. Oh, just don't be such a Debbie Downer the entire time. Right, train depot, buy vehicles. Talk to me about electrics. What you got for me? All right, the Milwaukee will do 120, beefy. Or the Crocodile will do 75, less beefy. But it's useful on winding lines such as the Gothard Railway. For heavy freight trains. Yeah. The Milwaukee. I think the Milwaukee. I know we're using it elsewhere, but I think... Yeah, how's it going to be on the twists and the turns? Well, why don't you buy one and then you can find out. Put some wagons on it. It's going to be the heavyweights, isn't it? 180. You see, this always bugs me because you're paying for speed that you can't use. Well, the 6-axle is the alternative, and then you've got a little bit of extra speed on the. I think 6-axle all the way. Yeah, all right. Yeah. All right. How much passenger capacity do you need? I think 20 will probably be overkill, but at the same time, you want the train to look like it's warranting it, and therefore we'll go with 100 capacity, which is 146 metres. We've got 160 metre stations. I think that's ideal. I think we buy 6 of them. This is going to cost an arm and a leg. I think the running costs of this thing are going to be close to 50 million a year. No, 20 million a year. And I think that the chances of you making any money off this at any point at all in history is 0. Let's watch it run, shall we? Right. Okay, there we go. We're rolling. Okay, I'm only activating the turbos until we're situated at the first station, because you never know how much train you've got to wait for before you're allowed to depart. Go on, son, depart. He's departing. Okay. Yeah. It's going to take a while for these to branch out, to space out. Yeah, but you see, up top at Ergmelonflex, they're going to have plenty of opportunity to space out because of the amount of spacing you've left in there for the Y. Yeah. Right. We're not going to run through this at slow speed. We'll run through this at medium speed. There it comes. Yeah, I know, that's high speed. Right. Jump on board. Right. We're on. Okay, flip it. Let's rock. We are now rocking. Up tempo to stage 2. There we are. Tab. Instant tab. If you're in the camera, tab. Cycles through the different speeds. Okay, we're off and we're away. This won't take 15 minutes. No, it'll take less than that. Okay. This amount of bridge makes you a bit dizzy, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Should we have a look behind us? Hello? Bought it brand new. It's rusty already. You just can't get the kit, can you? No, you can't. How many passengers are we carrying? None. Well, okay, but to be fair, we didn't really give them any time to turn up, so there is that. Right, okay, first corner is a 70. Yeah. Oh, we got to swerve around here. Shouldn't be slower than 70. We're accelerating again. And we are alongside the hill. And we've already climbed a reasonable distance. Although that could just be a deeper valley than the one we were in. We're at the Y already. Already? Yeah, it's not as far as you think. That first bit. This will be a slow one. 55. Okay. 55's not so bad. Okay. Views, please. Still the same valley. I did say that the views might not be spectacular because it's just grassland. But once I start doing... that is the view. There's a train running backwards over there. Yeah. Yeah, isn't there always? Yeah. There's a train running backwards up there as well. Okay, that's a heck of a view. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be this good, but it is. It is definitely this good. Yeah. You can also see where you're going. I don't know if that's necessarily a sales point or not. Alright, up to Ergmellenflex, where there's nothing, which there won't be until I put a bus route in. That's okay. It's a tram route. We do trams up at Ergmellenflex. It gets nothing but modernity. Okay. There we go. Now, there's a good chance that we'll see a friend on the way. Why is this going uphill? Hello, little car. Will you not spare me the unnecessary undulations? You can fix that. Yeah. I bet that's why you had trouble with your needles. Probably is. Probably is. Okay, and then we've got a train in the junction. Here it comes. Nice. Moving at this speed, it's almost like watching model railways, which is kind of cool. You know, and there's definitely... I buy the argument of, oh, don't run it too fast. And you go, yes, I concur. Don't run it too fast. You know what I will do at some point is we'll do some end-to-end runs on a live stream where it'll just be a bit of end to... Oh, breathtakingly good. Oh, yeah. Nice. Straight over the front. What would be better is if there was some water there, but... What are you doing? Just turn the points. Just live with it. That's a very slow junction. I might need to remodel that. There you go. There's a mainline train running forwards. That's not mainline. It's not long enough. Oh, okay. What is it then? Those are passenger trains. That's the Miranda Loop. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Cheeky tunnel. That's nice. All right. Into the cheeky tunnel. And we're in the downhill, which is a lot of fun. Yeah. Keep your eye on the views. Yeah, a bit of water in the view would be sublime, but as it stands, it's pretty nice. Yeah, down to 60 for this corner, possibly even lower. Yeah, down to 59. That's all right. We can cope with 59. All right, what are we going to see when we come out of here? Nothing but bridges. Yeah, that's not an exaggeration either. Nope, that's a lot of bridge action. Isn't a tight one. No, it's still 65. Okay, that's not so bad. It's a flipping long way to go, though, isn't it? Yeah. Also, yeah, you're not going to pick up any passengers at all until you've got some bus routes hooked up. You just aren't. That's a thing that is not going to happen. Okay. How you feeling? Oh, I'm happy to be alive, and I'm a train. Okay. Yeah. It's anthropomorphizing a train there. Or a vocal representation of a train, let's put it that way. Have we got any passengers? Yes, we have. There's one. Any more? Nope. 2 passengers. They're going on a day trip. Super. Okay, that's a lovely little route, and that cost me 3 million quid. Okay, well, it's never going to make any money, but I've been Colonel Failure, and who cares? Yeah, it doesn't matter that it's not going to make any money. There's another train coming in. Oh, it's great. Yeah, I think so too. You could put a little side junction, station, platform, entrance type deal here. All right, let's do that now. Yeah. No, I did just because I'm in the area. I'll get it done. Do you want platform? Not really. What about a passenger building? Yeah. Can I stick it alongside that? No, you're not allowed. All right, the platform it is then. Yep. Might as well do the full length. People can then get out either side depending on their preference, depending on their mood of the day. And we'll stick that in there. No, let's go grandiose, man. All right, one grandiose station entrance. Let's bulldoze this house, and then let's put in a small little dab of street. Little dab of small street. There we go. You appear to have tram tracks on this. Gently does it. Right, there you go. Magnifico. Sort of Magnifico. It's a little bit downhillish, but it works, so take it. There we go. And that should generate you a couple of passengers. I think you'll do better once you hook up your bus stop, although it is a bit of a walk. They'll be okay. They got legs. Yeah. You could put in a little bus stop at this end. Oh, just for people getting off at the train station. That's a cute idea. Yeah, do it. Okay, buildings. Yeah, bus tram stop. Super. I've been Colonel Failure. During the playout for today's video, you will see me start to build the tram track to do Flex. You're going, but why don't you do it as a video? And I kind of go, because it's not going to be that flipping riveting. So, you're just going to have to endure it in the background while I'm chuntering on about something I imagine would be relatively short. Thanks very much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, because it's just starting to get good. Well, it started to get good a while ago. Then it stopped being quite so good because it got a little bit, routine, a little bit formulaic. But it's now about to get good again. Where are you going with this? I'm going over here. Are you? Yeah. I'm going to follow the line of the track and go over there. 2 reasons. And they are, 1... Whoa! Cheerio! Yeah, you see, you saw an hour-long Transport Fever video and thought, oh, that'll be a sponsored outro then. No, it wasn't. No, this just took this long to make. Good. Anyway, you've had enough of me for one today, so how about you clear off? Go on, hop it.